Hi, this is Alex, host of the Doomed Planet podcast. This is episode 88, J.P. Morgan's Enormous Appetites. There is a famous portrait of J. Pierpont Morgan taken by renowned photographer Edward Steichen, taken in 1903. It was about 10 years before Morgan died. And he's got the trademark walrus mustache, gentlemanly gray hair, big bulbous nose, of course, big giant eyebrows, and that menacing stare. A lot of billionaires who are also brilliant, many of them are, Morgan was, they have that ability to just look at someone and, you can tell that person is going to know this is not a mere mortal. I can tell by the energy just coming from this person. Of course, in this portrait, he's hanging on to the armrest of his chair, and which has caught the light, and it looks uncannily like he's shoving a dagger right at the viewer or the photographer. Funny enough, I have a postcard of this image from the Pierpont Morgan Library, and the end of the knife is cropped out, or the end of the chair is cropped out, so you don't see this sharpened knife. It's just kind of like incredible. Well, that's wealth and power for you. And God, we can't begin to go into the details of Morgan here. He was born into a very wealthy family. He became one of the great robber barons. His son, J.P. Jr., took over the business and took it to even new heights. And to this day, of course, you have J.P. Morgan Chase, giant financial services firm, bank, Wall Street, whatnot.
At J.P. Morgan, it's about what's working for you.
Morgan was a man of enormous appetites. He's a big guy, too, 6'2". That's big for the time. And he eventually, gained a bunch of weight. And he loved cigars. The 8-inch Maduro Meridiana Kohinoor cigar. And he went to Germany as a youth for some education, and spent a lot of time in the beer halls, dancing, smoking, drinking. He kept his appetites in check for the most part. You don't become a billionaire by being a total drop-dead drunk, but a chain smoker of cigars and huge inhaler of food. Murray's on 34th and Broadway and 102nd Street and Broadway in 1905. The place Morgan might have gone to, or the typical menu, rich person restaurant. Oysters and clams, incredible. Scalloped, blue points, broiled, fried, stewed, steamed. Soups, chicken broth, clear green turtle soup, strained gumbo, relishes, caviar, herring, anchovy, lobster, broiled, $1, stuffed, 30 cents, cold lobster, 60 cents, crab meat, au gratin, crab meat Newburgh, frog's legs, fried scallops with bacon, chicken a la king, chicken hash, fresh artichokes, chicken patties, squab, partridge, spring turkey, rarebits, Yorkshire rarebit, Welsh rarebit, and of course cold lamb, turkey, beef, squab, ham, tongue, corned beef, assorted cold cuts, lobster salad, ice cream including tutti frutti,
podcast about people who should not exist.
Skipping well ahead, Morgan used to go to Europe for an annual trip. He became critically ill for a week and was unconscious while on the Nile in Egypt, and died in Rome, Italy from indigestion, they say. He was also under some pressure, about to get busted for some antitrust shit at the time. The Ottumwa Tri-Weekly Courier, December 19th, 1912. It's about a year before Morgan dies. Morgan firm control runs into billions. Charts produced at hearing of the House Money Trust probe shows interlocking directorates. Few men direct immense wealth. In hands of 180 men, the destiny of 134 corporations with a capital of 25 billion is placed. The old, fat, sick guy who refuses to give up, although his son is going to take over. It's going to be smooth in the end. He, up until the last minute, he wants to be this king, this rich and powerful guy, but his health is failing and the government is on to him. This is the Senate Pujo Committee. Morgan was forced to testify. William Rockefeller was served, but they said that his physician said that he was ill and could not attend. Admirable, the Pujo Committee, of course, World War I was around the corner, and that kind of marked the end. Not only to trust busting to a certain extent, but to radical union activity and stuff. It was, we're at war now, boys. Let's support corporate America. The Pujo hearings did inspire I have to look here, the 16th Amendment, establishing a federal income tax. At around this time, Morgan's daughter, Anne, his beloved daughter, created the Society for the Prevention of Useless Giving. And apparently during this time, workers, and especially female workers, were required to give expensive Christmas presents to their bosses. This was a thing, like the equivalent of 1 or 2 weeks' pay, sort of a bribe or something, and a rat race competition. And Anne didn't like this. Of course, World War I broke out, and that, she moved her philanthropy and her spending her time, helping on that front somehow.
Billionaire.
Bad billionaires, gosh darn it. Anne Morgan, the House of Morgan, Morgan Today, JP Morgan. This would require a 6-part episode of 2-hour segments. So let's not do that. Really quick, superyachtfan.com. Les Wexner owns a yacht called the Limitless. 316 feet long. You can have 12 guests in 6 luxurious cabins. There's a 20-person crew, and it's too bad that his close pal Jeffrey Epstein is no longer there to cruise with him.
Billionaire.
Philipp Anschutz, born in 1939. Okay, so he's not a first-generation Nazi. This is another guy we should profile at some point if we have the time. He's an American billionaire who owns, what could be called a conglomerate, a bunch of different companies in different industries, most notably AEG Live, the Anschutz Entertainment Group, music promoters, I've got friends who have worked for AEG, and Anschutz is a smart businessman. Like, he kept his right-wing politics out of his businesses, especially, the music business, leans to the left, and they just want to ignore that this right-wing billionaire, actually owns the place. His father was an oil tycoon, so, up from your bootstraps, starting with nothing to build your empire, as usual. Much of his fortune comes from the oil business, and we all know that's clean, baby, clean in every way imaginable. Just, it's beneficial for humanity in every respect.
Billionaire.
Dagmar Dolby is on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index. She's the widow of Ray Dolby. You might recognize the name if you've been to a movie, Dolby sound, Dolby surround sound. I can't think of a single bad or negative thing to say about Ray Dolby other than that, the concept of billionaire should not exist, but this guy definitely invented something useful that brought joy to people. Very wise businessman. He had 50 patents, and some of them were quite lucrative. People across the entire music industry used his technology and paid him for that privilege. Ray Dolby's son, David Dolby, leads Dolby Family Ventures. Again, this is a huge, wealthy, and powerful family. David Dolby is an active technology investor and philanthropist based in San Francisco. Under Ray Dolby's mentorship, he's developed strong skill to identify, Pascal Levinson, Senior Managing Director. So, it's, what do? I don't know. They have a huge amount of money, and they need to, maybe it's kind of part venture capital firm, part investment bank. And if they paid their fair share of taxes, their venture would be a lot smaller than it is now, and everyone would be better off, and they wouldn't miss that piece of their wealth at all. It's like a fraction of the wealth, but no, that's not how it works. Sound pioneer Ray Dolby's personal papers are donated to Stanford Library's Silicon Valley Archives. January 18, 2023, Dolby, known for taking the hiss out of tape recordings and developing sound technologies that revolutionized the entertainment industry, meticulously documented his curiosity and passion for sound, which started at an early age as revealed by high school papers. You gotta love this guy. Did a bit of research, not finding right-wing politics or weird sexual peccadillos or anything, or abuse of other people, anything that would make me think he's not anything but a nice guy. And again, now his widow and his son and whatnot they're just billionaires with inherited wealth that didn't actually do anything. But, what are you going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. Tax these motherfuckers.
Billionaire. Billionaire.
This is